All right, so in a slow news cycle, all of a sudden, bam, this huge story comes out about the ratings for The Ultimate Fighter with Conor on it and how low they were and how disastrous this was. A disaster. And now the entire fight's in jeopardy. Chandler and Conor's not even going to happen, you guys. That is what I read all over the place today. Trust me, fight's not even going to happen now because the ratings on Ultimate Fighter are low. And I'm like, okay. Well, so we'll go ahead and dissect your statement there, and I'll tell you my thoughts. You know, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can certainly tell you why the numbers are being, are misconstrued. The numbers that came out, where they say that it's down 70%, because here's where Conor's numbers were for the first Ultimate Fighter, and here's where they are now, and now it's like, oh my God, what a dramatic drop. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a couple data points that's going to just take a sword and then be like, here's your point, and go whack, straight through the heart. And then we'll talk about the fight stuff too. So that's what we're going to do, dude. That's what we're going to do. Check this out, though, before I start. You see this shirt? The ear thing hurt him. I don't know who made this shirt for me. I got it in the mail. I don't know who made it. So to my anonymous shirt maker, thank you. And anybody who doesn't know the reference, when I got into it with Unique, early. Listen, Brendan Schaub has the worst face in the history of comedy. That guy. I made a bunch of videos making fun of him and his voice. I can't help it, dude. I'm not a perfect person. I hear a person talking like this. I have to imitate their voice. I can't help myself. And he did a response video, and he was like, this is an ugly dude, man. Look at those ears. The ear thing hurt him. The ear thing hurt him. And I literally could not stop laughing at that. And I said the ear thing hurt him about 1,000 times. So someone made a very clever shirt. Thank you to whoever did that. Also, if you don't mind subscribing to the channel, it really would help me out, dude. And really, real talk, if you're already subscribed or you're not, go ahead and like this video, because I promise you're going to like it, dude. I'm going to make good points. You're going to read these articles about how it's, oh my God, the show, it's over, it's dead, there's no one ever going to watch the show again. I'm going to tell you why that's stupid. And then people are like, the fight's off. Fight's never going to happen, man. The fight's never going to happen. And I'll tell you why. Certainly, this has no effect on whether or not the fight happens. So we'll get into it. All right. So subscribe to the channel and like it. Yes. All right. So here's the deal. Oh, also, I have to thank the sponsor of this video, Yo Kratom. Look at this. That's that Yo Kratom right there. Okay. Yo Kratom. Give them a look if you like Kratom, because it's the bomb. All right. So now let's jump into this story. Okay, so this is the story that we are talking about, okay? So, when these ratings came out, they did a 294,000 average viewers on ESPN. Now, why is that a misleading thing right out of the gate, right? So, see, 294,000 average viewers in a one-hour broadcast the past Tuesday. Now, the important part to compare it to is the number one program was Real Housewives of New Jersey with 1.17 million average viewers. And that's in the demographic that they are targeting, 18 to 49-year-olds. So first of all, no wonder when I look around and listen to people talking, I'm like, how are people so fucking stupid? You go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, and you start interacting with people, and you're like, who are these? Like, where do these people come from? Where do these people come from? I don't understand. How are people so stupid? I don't understand. And then it's like, well, let me give you one data point for you to consider. The number one show on Tuesday night is Real Housewives of New Jersey. And you're like, come again? They're like, yeah, that's number one, dude. That's the number one show on cable. And I have been saying for years, which is going to play into why these numbers are misleading, that people who still have cable are objectively stupider than people who don't now. Okay? Cable makes you stupid. Cable makes you stupid. Get rid of your cable, dude. Anywho, but yeah, so also a notable piece of information here was the broadcast when Conor was on last time was 622,000 average viewers. Now that sounds like a dramatic drop. It's something like 65% drop, 70% drop, something like that. Whoa, that is an enormous drop. Right. Okay. So what year was that again? I don't know, maybe like 2014, 2015. Okay, cool. Can you think of anything that might affect those numbers, that might not necessarily be a lack of interest in Conor McGregor? What do you mean, dude? I'm talking like things that have nothing to do with the UFC, Like what was different in 2014 versus 2023? I don't understand what you're getting at. I know you don't. That's why you're watching this video, okay? Because I'm going to educate you right now. How many people watched cable in 2014? Because these are cable ratings. These are Nielsen cable ratings. I'm not sure. A hell of a lot less is the answer, okay? A hell of a lot less. Most smart people have clipped their cable. Or at the very least, they have cable just for sports, and they don't watch cable television, right? You have Netflix. You have, as an example, ESPN Plus, where, that's where I watched it. That's where most smart people probably watched it. No offense to people who still have cable, but, get rid of it because it's the devil and they propagandize you and make you stupid, But yeah, so that's one major impact on why the numbers are so much lower. It's not just like, oh, no one cares about Conor McGregor anymore. And the idea that the ratings being lower is going to kill the actual fight happening, Chandler and McGregor. Yeah, no. Okay. Now, can I guarantee that the fight happens? No. I think it is incredibly unlikely that it doesn't happen. But as a person who's not on the inside of anything, I can't tell you for sure that it happens. I can tell you that the ratings are irrelevant, okay? And I'll tell you exactly why. The UFC wants to do the fight no matter what. It's Conor McGregor, dude. It's Conor McGregor. If they of course want to do this fight. They're as motivated to do this fight as they are to do any fight. More motivated than any other fight. Conor wants to he's worth so much money. Do you really think that Conor is going to decide whether or not to do this fight based on the cable ratings of the day? It's absurd. If anybody actually believes that, you do not understand human beings, okay? Conor, everywhere that he goes, he is given stimulus that he is the biggest star on earth, right? Which he is. These ratings are totally irrelevant. And to the people who actually said this, right? And I saw a lot of them. Like, I'm not talking about like a small number. I saw this all over the place, which is why I was like, God, I got to do a video about this. To anyone who said, trust me, the fight's not going to happen now. Why? Okay? Explain it to me. What's your rationale for making that statement? Why is it not going to happen? Okay? Because you have a handful of factors which determine whether or not a fight happens, right? 1, does the organization want to do the fight? 2, how bad do they want to do the fight? Okay, so you got 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, right? 100%, 100% there. Okay, does Michael Chandler want to do the fight? Michael Chandler would fight Conor tomorrow. Okay, now how bad do they want to do the fight equals how much will they pay for them to do the fight? Conor is going to get paid. Chandler, going to get paid. Okay, so the only reason that this fight in any capacity would not happen is if Conor doesn't agree to do the fight. Now, Conor already agreed to do the fight. That's what's so ludicrous about this. Name one time. You know what? Here, let me take a step back, actually. The reason people think that Conor fights won't happen is simple. It's because Conor goes on Twitter all the time and says he'll fight this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, because he's staying relevant, right? He's staying relevant. But name one time in Conor's career, one time where he said in this capacity, where he agreed to a fight, okay, by doing Ultimate Fighter and saying the end of it is me versus Chandler. That's for real agreeing to a fight. Okay, that's not the same thing as just talking about it on Twitter. Name one time where Conor has committed to a fight and then not done it. One time. One time. Including injuries. A single time where Conor was booked for a fight, got injured and pulled out. Now I realize they don't have I think they actually do have the date booked. If you guys have been paying attention, it's probably, I believe it was December 14th. They booked T-Mobile Arena December. That's probably what it's going to be. But nonetheless, as soon as he agreed to do Ultimate Fighter, that is him agreeing to do this fight. He's never in one instance pulled out of a fight. Not once. Not a single time. Not once. And we know in some cases he had an injured knee. For Mendes, fought anyway. Okay? He doesn't pull out of fights. He's not going to pull out of this fight. He's going to do the fight. He did Ultimate Fighter. They're going to do the fight. These ratings are totally irrelevant as it relates to that. On top of which, let's say that less people are watching this show, which is very likely. I mean, well, certainly. It's almost a certainty. Even when you factor in ESPN Plus numbers. What does that actually indicate? Does that indicate there's less interest in Conor McGregor? Because I don't believe that. Okay, certainly not in terms of the likelihood that people are going to buy his pay-per-view. I don't buy that even a little bit. Okay. What it indicates is that Ultimate Fighter, right, is stale. Okay. Here's another little piece of information as it relates to that. Right, this right here. Okay. So the numbers were up from last season. Where Robert Whittaker and Kelvin Gastelum were the coaches for Tough 28, and 186,000 people watched it. And this was up like 100,000 average viewers or 110,000 average viewers from that season. Okay. And so what you could say is that is a baseline for this show. That's like, that is a baseline because Gastelum versus Robert Whittaker is not that's not like some big driver. That just means this is how many people are going to watch Ultimate Fighter no matter what's on. It's up 50% basically from that, or more than that actually. It's up like 60% from that. And again, that none of that is even relevant because the number of people watch, like as an example, I'm gonna be honest with you. Ultimate Fighter, like I watch, I kind of scan through, like it's not my bag, dude. I love this sport more than anything. And I'll scan through Ultimate Fighter, but I don't just watch like reality shows. That's my problem, actually. I'm not a good example, actually. Because as you guys know, if you are a fan of this channel, I have been on multiple reality shows. I will show you guys both of those right now since, so I have been on multiple reality shows, and just so we don't, sound like I'm fucking making shit up, let's just do this, right? So I was on this reality show, which was about my startup. Someone has to take a huge leap of faith on you. Okay, Meanwhile, I have no chance against these guys if I don't close money by football season. Okay, so if you haven't ever watched that, you can watch that. So I was on that reality show. And then I was also on this reality show when Gabrielle and I got married. Okay? This one from,
It seems like they've been dating forever.
Stupid. I've been with Jesse for 3.5 years. We have been together for 4 years.
Tuesday, May.
Okay, so I was on that reality show too, just so we're clear. Okay? And for a person who's actually seen behind the curtain, it's bullshit, okay? Now, the one about my startup was real. There's one fake scene in that one. We go to like a marriage counselor. They set that up. That entire scene is complete and total horse shit. All of it. Like, it's completely made up. We're faking the entire thing. The wedding show, the one, that show's created by the producers of The Bachelor. Same people. It's completely fake. Every single thing in it is totally fake. 100%. So the first day, so basically like if you guys don't know, the premise of that show was they were finding, this is the pitch they gave the network was, we want to capture all the drama of the final episode of The Bachelor, except do it in one episode. And it was like, all right. And so the show is you go to couples that have been together for a long time but are not engaged, and then you just show up on their doorstep and they're like, hey, we're throwing you your dream wedding in 7 days. So you have to go through the whole thing of planning it. You have to do all this stuff. You have to invite your friends. You need to do the bachelor party, bachelorette party, all in 7 days. And then at the altar, you decide whether you're going to go through with it or not, right? That's the show. And Gabrielle and I, we got cast, we got cast on the very first show. They picked us over every other couple in the country that auditioned. Hundreds of people auditioned, and they picked us. So probably a lot of that had, well, I mean, now that I have this going on, obviously I'm fucking money on camera, and Gabrielle's a complete and total dime. So, you know, not exactly like a shocker they picked us, but nonetheless. So we figured out what the show was before it started filming. They were like, so in the press, like any kind of like, you know, Hollywood stuff, like, you know, press releases, they were calling it this other thing so that we wouldn't know, like people who were going to participate wouldn't know what it was. But we figured it out, okay? Because we're resourceful and smart. And so we saw this press release. We're like, dude, this is the show. Like, this is the show. Because they told us when we were auditioning for it, we thought we were auditioning for like the Newlyweds Game for people who aren't married, you know? Like that's what it seemed like we were auditioning for it. But we figured out what it actually was beforehand. And so obviously we were like, all right, so we were going to get married anyway. So we're like, all right, so we're doing this, right? They show up the first day, and first of all, they're trying to get us drunk and shit. And they show up the first day, and they figured out very quickly that like, we're not going to fight. They're trying to make us fight. We're not going to fight. We're not going to fight, dude. Her and I have gotten in essentially 0 fights in 17 years. Okay. So we just pulled them aside. I was like, look, man, all this shit, like this isn't going to work for us. Like it's not going to work. You're not going to get us to fight. Okay. So tell us what you want us to do and we'll do it. And they were like, it's got, you know, it needs to feel authentic. And I was like, dude, trust me. Just tell us what you want us to do. So the rest of the first day, they kept on trying to like get us to fight without just, you know, pulling us in on the other side. And finally, you know, we were like, dude, just give us one scene. And so they told us exactly what they wanted us to do with one scene. And we completely faked it. And you could just see all of them were like, oh shit. And so it changed everything. And so the entire show, it was like filming an ad-libbed movie. Like they're like, all right, in this one, you're going to confront her about having seen her ex-boyfriend last time she was, you know, she was in you know, visiting her hometown. And, you know, so you show her the ring and I want you to close it and then go, why didn't you tell me about blah, blah, blah? You know, this is not like a thing that actually happened. So we just acted the entire thing. The whole thing is completely fake. I got in a fake fight with her ex-boyfriend. It's completely staged, every single bit of it. And so, as a person who has been on that side of the fence, right? And then you also know what it's actually like with a million cameras, sound, everything. When I watch reality television, I'm like, oh my God, dude. It's fake. Like when it's fake, it's so obvious. Now, obviously the Ultimate Fighter is not in that vein because people are going to actually fight. They actually train. Most of it is real. But I am personally poisoned to reality television. Okay. It just is what it is. I just can't. But maybe, I don't know. I'll give it another shot for this season. I do like watching the fights, and I like knowing who the guys are. That's kind of like the entire point of being an MMA fan. But nonetheless, that's what it is. This fight is definitely going to happen unless Conor off the deep end, you know. As long as Conor wants to fight, keeps it together for, he's not going to fight until December. It's 6 months. He should probably get it together pretty soon, though, you know. I hope. I just saw a video today of John Jones partying his balls off at a wedding. So hopefully that's not what's holding up, anything, He was at his buddy's Palestinian wedding, which was pretty cool, dude. Like they, traditional Palestinian wedding. It looked super fun. I have some buddies in the Bay Area that are Palestinian, and they're like these hustler ass dudes. They own all these stores, and I like their family is enormous, and that's exactly what this wedding looked like. It looked like just an absolutely enormous. There was I asked this dude Adam, like a really good buddy of mine, who's one. I was like, so how many? He was talking about. I'm like, how many cousins do you have in this area? And he's like, probably like 96. And I'm like, 96? He's like, yeah, altogether. Yeah, about 96. I'm like, that's insane, dude. No wonder you guys own because they owned like this, whatever. Their business, literally every single one of these storefronts in the Bay Area is owned by their family. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So John Jones, he's probably in the gym, but like, I want to see John Jones fight, dude. I really want to see Conor fight. I also want to see this guy fight in bare knuckle boxing or in any other super fight, Anywho, what else is going on, dude? What else is going on in MMA? Here, let's just peruse the internet right now. Let's just do this with the rest of our time. MMAfighting.com. Anthony Smith explains why he looks forward to Amanda Nunes' retirement. Interesting. Let's see what he said. Is it weird that at times I look forward to Amanda Nunes' retirement? Smith asked Monday. It's a very weird statement or sentiment I have. Sometimes when I see her in these fight weeks, in these interviews, and she's dragged her whole family there, and she gets in and she fights, sometimes I almost feel bad for her. Like, just go enjoy your life. Just go have fun. Like, stop doing all this shit, because a lot of times she doesn't seem to always enjoy it that much. Yeah, I mean, she's in a very enviable position, given that. Whoa. What else we got? Jake Paul set to make feature film about debut in combat sports drama. Ooh. Interesting. I'll watch this movie for show. All right, we're just doing dribble here. I'm at 22 minutes. That's probably enough. All right, love you guys. Peace.